Good evening, everybody. Oh, thank you, whoever said that. I feel so far away from you. Let's try that one more time. Good evening, everybody. Awesome. That was so much better. It's a pleasure to welcome everyone to our fifth grade celebration. Before we get started, I'd like to take a moment to thank some people who have made tonight possible. First, I'd like to say a special thank you to the Vice President of our Board of Education, Ms. Suzanne D'Amico, who is here on this side. Please give her a big round of applause. Thank you so much, Suzanne. We also have another one of our trustees from the Board of Education, Ms. Arlene Soti is with us. Thank you, Arlene. We have a very special member of our central office that is with us tonight, Dr. Jennifer Olson, our Assistant Superintendent. Thank you for being with us today, Dr. Olson. We feel very honored to have you here to celebrate this momentous occasion with us. Some other thank yous that I would like to extend, of course, goes to Miss Bryn Skell, who's sitting over here with our Board of Education. She's our amazing PTA president who has done so much for our kids this year. She and with Mrs. Turney and so many of our other fifth grade parents, thank you so much for leading our yearbook and our other committees and for all you've done to make this year so special for our graduates. I also want to say thank you to Mr. Gavalis. You're going to get to know him next year. He is the Howard Middle School principal. He is a doll of a guy. He was actually out here this afternoon helping us set up. But thank you to him and his amazing custodial staff for making sure that we were all ready to go and for rolling out the red carpet. Lastly, but certainly not least, I'd like to take a second to thank all of our teachers and our staff for all of their hard work and their dedication. A round of applause, please, for our staff. Respectfully, I'm going to ask that you please remain seated during the processional. Without any further delay, it gives me great pleasure to present to you the Woodward Parkway fifth grade class of 2022. Please give them a round of applause. Gentlemen, as they walk in, another round of applause, please, for our fifth graders. For our students, just a reminder to remain standing. Remain standing when you get to your seats, please. Ladies and gentlemen, don't they look fantastic this evening? A round of applause, please, for our fifth graders. At this time, I'm going to invite everybody to please rise and join us in the pledge. After the pledge, I'm going to ask that you please remain standing for the playing of the Star-Spangled Banner. Please salute. and pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Will the class of 2022, our families, and honored guests, please be seated. Good evening again, everybody. What a momentous day this is for all of us. It's an honor to stand before you today to address the class of 2022. Yesterday, during fifth grade breakfast, I quoted Ferris Bueller. By a show of hands in the audience, just make me feel young again. Does everybody know who that is? Thank you, families. Awesome. I quoted him, and I asked the students to stop and to take a moment and to look around them, and I asked them to consider who they were sitting with, where they were, and to take it all in. Now, I'm going to ask that we all take a moment to do that. Truly, life moves pretty fast, and if you don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it. Boys and girls, our families, today is a milestone. Look at this beautiful evening we've been blessed with. Look at all the wonderful people in your lives who have come to share this moment with you. Our parents and honored guests, look at these amazing young men and women who we are celebrating today. How about a nice round of applause for our graduates? Boys and girls, I can't put into words how proud I am of you. Yesterday, I had an opportunity to speak to you about milestones, about accomplishments, about endings, and about new beginnings. I couldn't help it, and I got a little choked up as I spoke to you about your time here at Woodward Parkway. There were some parents there, and Dr. DeHaze, my awesome partner in crime, that gave me a hard time about that. But I didn't mind. Because, boys and girls, I hope you could hear the sincerity that was in my voice, as there is really something very special about you, collectively and individually, this fifth grade class. As I thought about what I wanted to say to you on your moving up day, I found myself struggling for words. And I know I'm not alone, as I've spoken to a lot of your parents, all of whom have shared tremendous pride in you and their disbelief at how quickly the past 6 years have flown by. Today, I know they look lovingly at the 10 or 11-year-old versions of you that they see, that walked in just a few moments ago on this field. But in their mind's eye, I can imagine that they might see you, the 5 or 6-year-old version of you. How many people at that time loved Frozen, loved Minions, or Descendants? A lot of you had those backpacks. I don't know if you remember, but I'm sure your parents remember those. And I remember seeing you walk up onto the bus the first day before you left for school. I'm sure that they remember your first Halloween parade when you were wearing Elsa costumes. There were a lot of those. Does anybody remember Paw Patrol? you guys loved Paw Patrol in kindergarten. A lot of you are way too cool for that now, but I remember. I remember Rubble and Chase were your favorites. A lot of your parents, they might remember you performing in your first Woodward Parkway talent show, or they might remember you emceeing the most recent one that was held a few months ago. Or maybe they're thinking about a day when we were all learning together at home, and as hard as that was, how amazing it was to be all together as a family. As I told you, for me, I remember the first few days of kindergarten and how some of you shook free of your parents' hands, completely psyched to start learning. And there were others of you who cried big, giant tears, and you clutched very tightly to your parents' hands, scared and not wanting to let go. 6 years have passed, and it's very clear that those roles have changed. As parents and teachers, we've enjoyed watching you grow into the fine young men and women you become. And now, it's we the adults who are really not quite ready to let go. Moms and dads, Dr. DeHaze and I often joke that being principals is like being the kids' school grandpa or grandma, because we get to visit classrooms often, we get to hang out, we rile the kids up, and then we leave. It's the best job in the world, and it allows us the opportunity to see the amazing things that your sons and your daughters have done in their time here in our school. It is a legacy, and it's a legacy that manifests itself in so many ways. Just recently this year, we observed that as we listened to the kids discuss some amazing novels like Home of the Brave and Esperanza Rising. We saw how hard they worked to solve difficult math problems. We saw how they worked together to study the Mayans and the Incas and the Aztecs. We saw how they learned about the Earth's spheres through the lens of an oil spill and how those things impact our environment. We've seen their determination as they practice some really difficult music pieces. And I know we gave a shout out to our band and our orchestra before, but I have to do it again because they were the only elementary band and orchestra that went to NYSSMA Majors this year, and they've rocked it. So can we give them a round of applause for that? We've seen their creativity and their determination in our art studios where they've created some beautiful pieces which we just showcased at our Kids' Choice Art Show. And most especially, we've seen how many of them volunteer their time at recess to help our first graders. Indeed, Dr. DeHaze and I are fortunate. As we see these things regularly, we have the greatest jobs in the world. Boys and girls, individually and collectively, you are awesome. And I can say with certainty that you have grown into smart, thoughtful, kind, talented, and unique, caring young men and women. I want to say thank you for being an example, for being role models to our fourth graders, third graders, and younger students, and for all the classes that will come after you, and for showing them what it means to be a Daler. Our school will not be the same without the warmth and the laughter and the spirit that your class has added to our school community. I consider myself extremely fortunate to have been even in the smallest role in the development of the awesome young people you become. I hope you know that my interactions with you were often the very, very best part of my day. And I'm not going to name names here, but I think you'll know who I'm talking about, whether I was racing one of you in a chair with wheels down the third grade hallway, or if I see some of you in the hallway and they wave and you say, "Hi, bestie," or maybe when you were ziplining at Adventure Park and I got to jump on that with you guys, or I got to eat lunch with you in the cafeteria, or we just passed one another and teased each other about the Rangers and the Islanders. These moments mean a lot to me, and I'm really going to miss them, and I'm going to miss all of you. As I wrote in your yearbooks, some of my favorite memories of being principal of Woodward Parkway include members of this class. Each of you, in your own way, are fantastic and a testament to the incredible job that your families have done raising you. Boys and girls, if you could, please give your parents and everybody here that loves you a big round of applause. Many years from now, when I look back and I remember this class, I'll smile, and I'm going to remember a group of really funny, outgoing kids who had a playful sense of humor, and that made them really special. I look forward to seeing you again 7 years from now at your senior walk, at another milestone, gathered together in our school cafeteria. And I promise not to cry this time. I cannot wait to see all that you accomplish, and I know that you are going to be ready to take Howitt and the high school and someday this world by storm. When you leave as sixth graders and representative of our school here at Howitt Middle School, I have a challenge for you. And I mean this, and I really want each and every one of you to embrace this. Every day, I want you to be the reason why somebody that you don't know smiles. I want you to remember our B's. Be respectful and responsible. Be positive. Be yourselves, even when it's difficult. Be kind, and try your hardest to be your best every day. There's a great read aloud that you've probably heard in your time here at Woodward Parkway called There's Only One You. And in the book, there's a mama fish and there's a daddy fish, and they share some pieces of advice with their son before that little fish prepares to leave home. The fish, they remind their son to be on the lookout for a new friend, to look for beauty wherever you are and keep the memory of that with you, to find your own way and know that you don't need to follow the crowd. Before the fish swims away, his mom kisses him on the top of his head and he says, "There's only one of you in this great big world. Go forward and make it a better place." Boys and girls, please remember that there is only one of each of you in this great big world. Woodward Parkway knows you and we love you, and we trust that you will go forward and change the world. Congratulations on today and all of your amazing accomplishments. My best wishes to you always. Thank you. Without any further ado, I did mention her before, but she is our amazing PTA president. Her name is Miss Gina Brinskell, and she has a few words to share with our fifth grade class. Please give her a round of applause.
Hi, good evening, everyone. I'm sure throughout the course of the past few days, you have heard the phrase, "I'm proud of you," a few times, from your families, your teachers, the administrators. And you smile and you say thank you. When you hear it again today, I hope you remember it, because you should be very proud of yourselves. It takes courage to grow up and be who you really are, and I hope you let nothing stand in the way of that. Wherever you go, go with your whole heart, smile with your whole face, and remember, if you dream it, you can do it. What I've seen here at Woodward Parkway is friends and classmates there for one another, always having each other's backs in the good times and in the darkest ones. You get through the hard times so you can enjoy the good ones. Life is always filled with some form of regret, but I promise you, you will never regret being kind, which is something that this class exudes. Thank you for always helping the PTA out whenever we asked, and even for waving back at those fourth graders whose hearts skipped a beat when they saw you in the halls. I'll leave you with a quote from one of my favorite poets. You didn't learn about him in school, and you probably never heard of him. Your parents might have. His name is William, and he's from the acclaimed show This Is Us. He said, "If something makes you sad when it happened, it must have been pretty wonderful while it was happening." On behalf of the Woodward Parkway PTA, congratulations to the class of 2022. You didn't have to step off. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, one more round of applause, please, for Ms. Brinskell. And again, thank you for those words, and of course, for all that you've done for our school community this year. Now, it is my pleasure to introduce Ms. Dandrilli and Mrs. Haas, who are going to conduct our students in a musical presentation called Forever Friends, a song that we're sure you've probably heard from Vitamin C. We hope you enjoy it. For our fifth grade class of 2022, I'm going to ask you to please rise. Please a bowed face. And Mr. Thank you so much, Mrs. Haas and Ms. Dandrilli, for all that you've done to get the students ready for this song and for all that you do for our music program here at Woodward Parkway. For our fifth grade class, please about face. And please be seated. Before we begin the presentation of certificates, please join me in recognizing our fifth grade teachers and for thanking them for the outstanding job they did this year. I'm going to ask you each to please stand. Ms. Barrera. Mrs. Brewer. Mrs. Caranti. It's a pleasure to have you back with us today. Thank you. Mr. Lassick. Mrs. Lembo. Mr. Marino. Mrs. Sisto. Mrs. Scicciarini. Mrs. Tuda. Mrs. Westerman. Thank you all so much. I also just want to take a very quick second to recognize two very special ladies who helped us set up for today. They're standing right over there. There are two amazing secretaries, two of our three amazing secretaries in the office, Miss Olympia and, of course, Miss Dorothy. Guys, give us a big wave over there. Thank you so much. Now, boys and girls, is the time you've been waiting for. It's time for the presentation of certificates. Boys and girls, when your name is called, please come to the podium. You will have the opportunity to shake the hands of our honored guests and to receive your diploma. Dr. DeHaze, Mrs. D'Amico, Mrs. Sodi, and Dr. Olson, please join me on the podium. Give them a round of applause. We love that. I love that. It's my pleasure to welcome Mr. Marino to the podium so we can begin recognizing our class of 2022. Please give him a round of applause.
At this time, I'd like Mr. Marino's class to please rise. You could start making your way forward. Michael Albano. Parker Benner. Natalie Calderon. Mary Cohen. James Kaminsky. Cole Del Gershio. Samaya Ellis. Emma Falla. Christopher Grassi. Frank Haar. Michael Ignieri. Ryan Lyons. Ray Negron. Michael Pereira. Janelle Poole. Olivia Rodney. Logan Tyler. Teresa Vito. Anthony Vitelli Jr. Samantha Yilmaz. At this time, Mr. Marino's class can be seated. I'd like to call up to the podium Mrs. Lembo, Mrs. Caranti, and Miss Barrera.
Will my class please rise? And please step forward. Alia Arthur. Sydney Caballero. Gianna Caltabiano. Eileen Cardenas Velasquez. Juliana Cherry. Joseph Grella. Avery Grevstad. Vincent Grasso. Gerardo M. Guzman Lopez. Gael Jean Michel. Christopher Kastenchak. Damon Corey. Henry Francis Locke. Giovanna Livingston. Nicholas Stavros Makridis. Logan W. Miles. Luke Joseph Pollock. Abby Rose Renyak. Anthony T. Sardo Jr. Lucas Torello. And Jackson Tavalerio.
Nicholas Deluistio. Joseph Davella. Emily Lagnese. Anthony Lopez Ventura. Richard Pierman. Layla Tadashi. Congratulations.
Students, please be seated. It is now my pleasure to invite Mrs. Scicciarini forward to celebrate her students. Please give her a big round of applause.
Will my class please rise and come forward? Sophia Arana. Alyssa Boyle. Gabriel Sapita. Annie Cohen. Dylan Davis. Dylan Delator. AJ Dennis. Nicholas MD. Kira Huff. Jacob Howell. Brooke Lilia. Peyton Rivera. Tyler Schwartz. Jordan Silva. Kayla Simpson. Camden Tanagan. Sal Wall. Aiden Zhang. Liliana Ziegler.
Aaliyah Centrone. Dylan DeGallo. Shannon Horback.
Michael Reyes Castro. Jason Rivera Grande. Juliet Teleska. Congratulations.
Congratulations, boys and girls. You may be seated. I'd like to invite Mrs. Tuda up to the podium.
Will my class please rise and come forward? You need some guidance. Daniel Alacon. Sabrina Badalamenti. Gregory Belisari. Paige Bresnahan. Layla Bushing. Fabiana Carrera Medina. Bibian Ihamika. Rizwan Ayinyat. David Frank. Aurora Havrushko. Mia Hernandez Castro. Yensel Hernandez Fuentes. Maggie Kelly. Ava Maggio. Walter Mahia Jimenez. Elmer Mia. Oh boy. James Mohan. D'Angelo Morales. Matthew Nilsson. Alexandra Yancic. Congratulations, boys and girls. Will my class please be seated? I'd like to invite Mr. Lastic and Mrs. Brewer up.
Will our class please rise? And come forward, please. Kelly Alvarado.
Andrew Backus.
Lucas Bonomo.
Layla Bush.
Jason Candidate Toomer.
Evan Cavati.
Mia Ferrer.
Catherine Garcia Vasquez.
Alessandra Hualanca.
Nico Angelo Keeling.
Nico Lopes.
Richard Anthony McDonald.
Gabriela Montalvan.
Dylan O'Toole.
Jacob Richards Mendoza.
Jarrell Smith Sanchez.
Lucas Baracio.
Sean Tierney.
And Samantha White. Congratulations, boys and girls. You may be seated.
Now we would like to invite Mrs. Sisto and Mrs. Westerman up to the podium, please.
Will our class please rise? Come forward. Kelsey Boudrum. Elijah Anthony Cintron. Aiden Sean Connolly. Nicole Marie Cowan. Mason Diaz. Matthew Dorn. Ava Estevez. Adrian Flores. James Anthony Grimes.
Cristiano Walanka. Dylan Imanti. Liam J. Landy. Rayanne Magbalang. Yason Maldonado Lugo. Whitney M. Orta. Caitlin Ortiz. John Rivas Grasso. Thomas Sattler. Dustin Taylor. Chanel Thomas. Congratulations to our class. Please be seated.
Ladies and gentlemen, how about another round of applause, please, for our graduates? We are so proud of you. And again, thank you to Mr. Miko, Ms. Soti, Dr. Olson, and to all of our teachers. At this time, it's my pleasure to invite Dr. DeHaze, our amazing assistant principal, forward for some closing remarks. Please give her a big round of applause.
Okay. When I get up, almost there. We're almost there. Good evening, Woodward Parkway's fifth grade class of 2022. Woo! It is an honor and a privilege for me to conclude our commencement ceremonies today. I'm thrilled to be a part of such a momentous occasion. Just like Dr. Klosik mentioned, it is a day that marks an end as well as a beginning. Today marks the end of your time in elementary school, but it's a new beginning in your educational journey. Hold on. Wait a second. Let me just take this text. It might be my daughter. I'm just checking. Wait. Yep. Dr. Klosik, did you get that? I'm gonna show you. Okay. Boys and girls, I'm just here today. There was a point to that, and I'll get to it, but I'm just here today to talk about something called a moment. Webster's dictionary defines a moment as a brief period of time or importance. Quote, life was always a matter of waiting for the right moment to act. This is a quote from Paulo Coelho. It's a famous author who wrote The Alchemist. The right moment to act. What does that mean when you're a fifth grader moving on up to the middle school? The right moment to do anything could mean anything to anyone. But the right moment is the time that you need to seize and take action. To be ready for that moment, it can happen at any time. Don't miss out on your moments. I started this speech a little funny, right, with my phone, but only to emphasize the power of what a moment actually has on a person. You can't go back on a moment, so be present in every moment. I just finished a book called The Power of Regret by Daniel Pink. Daniel Pink spent years studying regret. According to Daniel Pink, regret is, over time, people regret what they didn't do more than what they did do. Regrets of inaction are far more common than regrets of action. As we look back over the 6 years at Woodward Moments, there were many memorable moments that you had when you went through Woodward Parkway. You learned from the very best. I hope that you learned from all of your Woodward moments. Step by step and day by day, your course, boys and girls, was steadfast, and you never lost sight of your goals. I can only applaud that kind of dedication and determination, that purposeful resolve that got you here today, even when it might not have always been very easy. Well done. You seized wonderful opportunities in academics, cultural arts, sports, and made them your own. Dr. Klosik and I are indeed proud of each and every one of you. Students, as you leave Woodward Parkway, I want you to think about who you are and what defines you as a person. What makes your attitude shine? What makes you persistent? What sacrifices will you make along your journey for your Daler team? How will you be present in every moment of your journey? Moments with your teachers, your friends, and your family. Please take this message with you wherever you go, boys and girls. Put down your phones for a moment and be present in that moment. Be present with your family and your friends. Before we end this evening, this beautiful evening, I want to leave you with this sentiment. I don't know if you know what a marigold is, boys and girls, but it's like a strong-smelling flower. It's usually bright yellow or orange, and many of you may have purchased one for your mom or your grandma at a plant sale. Along the years at Woodward Parkway, we've had lots of plant sales. Thank you to our PTA. But marigolds have a special job. They are planted in gardens to protect vegetables and other plants from bugs and insects that might endanger them. Marigolds are very unique as they care for their very own kind, and they do a very good job. Be the marigold. Be the one who stands up for others, the one who cheers on others, and the one who is a strong, positive voice among the crowd of naysayers. Yesterday, at our awards ceremony, I was never more proud of you as a fifth grade cohort. I was witness to students supporting others, cheering on friends, and genuinely happy for others, even though you might not have been the one receiving an award. That's being Daler kind. And that's what a marigold does, naturally. I've always lived by these words by the beautiful Maya Angelou, and if you received an email from it, it's tagged in my email return. And I'm going to pass them on to you and your families today. Use them, and use it wisely. Maya Angelou says, I have learned that people will forget what you've said. People will forget what you did. But people will never forget how you make them feel. I hope that Dr. Klosik and I made you feel special while you attended Woodward Parkway. And I hope that you remember these moments that you made at Woodward Parkway. You certainly made us feel like special principals every day. And for that, we will remember all of those moments along with you. And we thank you. Parents, grandparents, we want to thank you for sharing your beautiful, kind-hearted, spirited, intelligent children with us. And remember what I said to you yesterday, boys and girls? I kind of like said, oh, this is from Cinderella, ha ha ha. But it's true. Be humble, be kind, and be patient. Be you, and be present in the moment. Be present in everything you do. Take on every opportunity that comes your way in middle school and in the years ahead of you. And always remember us. And I thank you. Boys and girls make us proud, and we can't wait to see you as seniors in your senior walk in 2029. We're so proud of you. Parents, I just wanted to say that we will be proceeding class by class down the center aisles, and the children will meet up with you in the back. But before we do that, will the class of 2022 please rise? Congratulations, boys and girls. And now your teachers will walk you down the center aisle.